A very good evening and welcome to this Sunday's edition of Newsfirst Weekend. I'm Arundhati Mudannaika. A new superstar has been born. Ryan Henderlin outsang the competition at the grand finale of ES Superstar Season 3 today to claim the coveted title. We have all the glitz and glamour from the event coming up on the bulletin. But before that, here's a look at the stories making headlines this evening.
All set for a national government. A statement from the Prime Minister.
කතානායකතුමා තෝරලා අපි යෝජනා කරන කරු ජයසූරිය මහත්මයා ඒකම ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂයෙන් සන්දානෙන් නියෝජ්‍ය කතානායක යෝජනා කළා තියෙනවා.
Chandrasiri Gajadhira to sit in Parliament as an independent MP. Vijit Vijayamuni reviews the election.
අප්පච්චි දිරවන්න කිව්වා. මෙතුමා දියවන්නාවේ ගිල්වල මුන් පැන්න පාර්ලිමේන්තුවට.
Karuna Aman recounts the fall of the LTTE.
And now the stories in detail. Speaking to the media today, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe said that he is ready to form a national government. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe made this statement following an inspection tour of a few proposed areas for renovation under the development project of the Colombo city.
September 3 වෙනිදා පාර්ලිමේන්තුවට ඉදිරිපත් වෙලා
After obtaining the approval of Parliament on the 3rd of September, the non-state ministers and deputy ministers will be sworn in. Through the 19th Amendment to the Constitution, the number of cabinet ministers has been limited to 30. However, at that instance, as it was said that there is an opportunity to form a national government, that number could be increased with the approval of Parliament. Once we convene on the 1st, we will elect a speaker, for which position we have proposed Karu Jayasuriya, while the Sri Lanka Freedom Party has proposed someone from their party to be the deputy speaker, following which the president will address Parliament on the policy manifesto. On the 3rd, we will seek approval to increase the number of cabinet ministers. Since this is a new system, it doesn't matter if it takes some time, because we are going to do all of this in deference to Parliament.
තුන්වෙනිදා රැස් වෙලා පාර්ලිමේන්තුවෙන් අනුමැතිය ඉල්ලනවා ඒ සංඛ්‍යාව වැඩි කරගන්න. එහෙනම් මේක අලුත් ක්‍රමවේදයක් ටිකක් කල් ගියත් මම කියන්නේ ඒක හොඳයි. මොකද අපි පාර්ලිමේන්තුවට යටත්ව තමයි මේ වැඩ කටයුතු සියල්ලම කරන්න කියලා මම මෙතනදී විශේෂයෙන් ප්‍රකාශ කරනවා.
Chandrasiri Gajadhira, the only Communist Party candidate to be elected from the UPFA, has decided to sit in Parliament as an independent MP. Responding to a query from Newsfirst, Gajadhira said that there is still no clarity regarding the state of the UPFA and the composition of the opposition. The former minister added that while he will not join the government for any reason, he will support both government and opposition alike when positive measures are taken. The UPFA nationalist nominee Vijit Vijayamuni has expressed the following views at a public rally in Buttala today.
They were told to bring him victory, but look at the destruction that they have caused instead. Look at how they destroyed the party. People like Gammanpilla, who came from a small party, and others who came from nowhere, are now saying to create a new front. They stood on the leader's shoulders, clung to his shawl, drowned him in the Devanna Oya, and jumped into Parliament. This is what they did.
Former LTTE Eastern Commander and former Deputy Minister Vinyagamurthy Muralitharan alias Karuna Aman has provided revealing insights into the death of LTTE leader Vellupillai Prabhakaran, made the following comments in an interview with an Indian TV channel.
Was it actually Prabhakaran who was killed? Some believe that he is still alive.
To belittle the death, many are saying that Prabhakaran surrendered, that he was brought to Mahinda Rajapaksa and was tortured and killed. When I joined the LTTE, Prabhakaran introduced cyanide to me, saying that it should be taken to end our own lives in the event our lives are compromised. So will such a person surrender to the army? I was the one who identified Prabhakaran's body. There is a specific reason for that. There was a scar on Prabhakaran's body which only he and I knew about. We got a new weapon which could fire both shells and ammunition. So Prabhakaran fired a shell with this weapon without opening a particular section which should have been opened. We were around watching. So this shell landed on his left leg. He collapsed. The fact that his life was saved that day was a miracle. So there were scars from this incident on Prabhakaran's left leg. I know much more about him. I was in the war for 30 years. I know about how a bullet can strike. I believe that this was a suicide. This is what actually happened. The army launched an attack around midnight. Then at around 4 in the morning, when they conducted a search operation in the area, they found Prabhakaran's body. But I reiterate the fact that the LTTE leader did not surrender. Prabhakaran was right-handed. A person who uses his right hand to fire a pistol will not shoot exposing his left side. He shoots while giving more weight to his right side. You could watch the footage of his body if you need.
Who should be held accountable for the alleged war crimes during the war?
Mahinda Rajapaksa should have taken action with regard to this when he was president. If there was something wrong done on their part, he could have apologized to the Tamil people. If that had happened, it would have made a major difference in Sri Lanka today. But now when the country is being punished with an international investigation, who can guarantee the safety of the Tamil people? Tamils in other parts of the world have no issues. Those in Switzerland will scream and protest, but they will still be safe. It is the same in other countries. 40 people have been charged with war crimes. When these people are punished, who will protect the Tamil people in Colombo? What happens to the safety of the Tamil people in the estates? What will happen in the north and east? Racism could raise its head again. These can be strategically solved.
இந்த அச்சம் நாங்க ஒரு இத தந்திரமான முறையில் நகர்த்தா விட்டா இனக்கலவரம் மீண்டும் வரும் கண்டிப்பா வரும்.
The Lanka Private Bus Owners Association says they are facing numerous issues as a result of the delay in appointing the cabinet of ministers. The association's president, Gamal Vijayaratne, expressed these views at a media briefing in Colombo today.
දින 15කට ඒ කියන්නේ මාස භාගයකට ආසන්න
15 days or half a month has passed and the cabinet of ministers of this country is yet to be appointed. Never has it taken this long for a government to appoint a cabinet. All of the ministries have become dysfunctional. There is no authority to look into the functioning of any of the ministries. In the case of the transport ministry, there is no minister nor is there a secretary. How can the country run this way? There is a mafia operating in the transport sector. We are facing a major problem as a result. We say that a clean minister must be appointed.
A felicitation ceremony was held in Jayala today to celebrate the election of Dr. Kaivinda Jayawardena to Parliament from the United National Party.
The event was organised by UNP supporters from the Valley Gampiti area in the Jayala electorate.
We will take forward this government of good governance. No matter what obstacles or barriers we face, we will continue our journey forward. I remember the time when Dayasiri Jayasekara left the party. Ranil Wickremesinghe said that he left with the computer, but we still have the software. He said that we will form the government in 2015. I wish to remind you all of this.
නමුත් software එක තියෙන්නේ මග්ගාව 2015 දී අපි ආණ්ඩුව ගන්නවා කියලා. මේකත් මම මේ අවස්ථාවේදී මතක්
The SLF festival concluded in Kandy today following the Diya Kapim or water cutting ceremony. President Maithripala Sirisena also participated in the SLF festival. President Maithripala Sirisena visited the sacred temple of the Tooth Relic this morning and paid homage to the relics. The President later called on the Chief Prelate of the Malato chapter, the Most Venerable Tibbatuwavi Sri Sumangala Thera, and received his blessings. President Sirisena also visited the Chief Prelate of the Yaskiti chapter, the Most Venerable Galagama Sri Attadisa Thera. The opposition leader of the Kotte Municipal Council charges that a housing complex which is of substandard quality is currently being constructed by the council. This housing complex is located in the Angampeti area in Kotte. It has been planned to demolish 12 housing units and increase the number of houses to 24.
A family needs a minimum of 500 square feet in order to live comfortably. But now they are constructing housing units which are measured at 300 square feet. We request the mayor to construct housing units which are measured at 500 square feet.
The occupants of these houses now have to reside elsewhere until they are given their homes once again. They said that they will reconstruct the house we were residing in. Back then days we paid 75 rupees per month. They told us that they will refurbish it and increase the rental. It increased by 1,000 rupees. It is a reasonable amount. They say they will construct a toilet inside the units and that the rooms would be made bigger.
There is only one room. How can a family which has a boy and a girl live in that house? If the female has to get dressed, then the boy would have to leave the room.
News First made inquiries with regard to this matter from the mayor of Kotte, Janaka Ranawaka.
The old housing units were only 220 square feet and the 12 housing units had only one bathroom. The new housing units are measured at 420 square feet and will have a bathroom each. Our opposition leader tends to make baseless allegations.
Sri Lanka's #1 hit music station Yes FM embarked on a quest to discover the singing talent hidden in Sri Lanka through Yes Superstar Season 3. The grand finale of the competition was held at the Stein Studio complex in Ratmalana this evening.
A very good evening and welcome to Stein Studios for the grand finale of Yes Superstar Season 3. And at the same time, a big welcome to all of you who are joining us live on television.
Yes Superstar Season 3 aimed to create a platform that recognizes singers purely based on their talent and originality. 3 of Sri Lanka's most popular female artists, Natasha Ratnayaka, Delaine Joseph and Ashanti Dialwis, judged the competition. After 4 exciting, emotional and talent-filled rounds and a decisive wildcard round, 14 contestants advanced to the elimination round of the competition, where the list was cut down to 8 competitors through the SMS votes of the viewers. Eventually, Darren Stork, Dinukshi Hettige, Ryan Henderlin and Vitma Kumarage emerged as the 4 finalists, surpassing all the other competitors. Tonight's glamorous grand finale showcased the talents of the 4 finalists in front of a capacity crowd at Stein Studios filled with Sri Lanka entertainment industry A-listers.
Make the call to take us over the road. Sleep all day since you took your love away.
All superstars in my eyes.
All right, well done.
At the conclusion of the event, Ryan Henderlin was adjudged Yes Superstar.
3 grand winner is
Ryan Henderlin!
Issuing a communique today, the Tamil United Liberation Front very strongly objected to the claim of the Ilangai Tamil Arasu Katchi that the office of the leader of the opposition should be given to the ITAC.
The communique noted that the ITAC had lost its credibility not only in the 2004 April general election, but much earlier when they took over the TNA with the assistance of an armed group and replaced the TULF with the ITAC in the Tamil National Alliance. The letter adds that the TNA was made strong through fraudulent means 26 years later by a deputy leader of a group that was dedicated to violence and subsequently declared the armed group to be the sole representatives of the Tamil people. The letter goes on to say that the TNA should be held responsible for all the crimes committed during this period, including the assassinations of Honourable Lakshman Kadirgama, Honourable J. Pararajasingham, Honourable N. Raviraj, ex-MP Kingsley Rajanayagam, candidate Mr. R. Satyamurthy and many others. The letter adds that strangely enough, the TNA remained tight-lipped when these murders took place. The letter further reads that it is unfortunate that the government had appointed R. Sambandhan as a member of the National Executive Council through which the TNA gained popularity.
The Navy has carried out a successful rescue operation to save the 10 fishermen who were stranded at sea.
2 multi-day trawlers broke down 35 nautical miles from Hambantota. The Department of Fisheries and Aquatic Resource Development notified the Navy of the incident. 10 fishermen from the Manusat and Isuruputa 3 multi-day trawlers were rescued by the Navy and were brought to the Hambantota harbour aboard the Udara Navy vessel.
The new electorate organisers of the Janasetta Peramuna or People's Welfare Front were appointed today.
The presenting of appointment letters for the new organisers was held today with the participation of Susil Khindalpitia, the leader of the People's Front for Good Governance. Venerable Angunugalle Sri Jinananda Thera was appointed as the party's new chairman at this event.
The president from the UPFA and the prime minister from the UNF have as yet been unable to appoint a cabinet. Back then we said, let us save the country from the pot of soup. But now the country has become a pot of soup.
දැන් ඉදා අපි කිව්වා කැදහැලියෙන් රට බේරාගමු කියලා දැන් කැදහැලියක් වෙලා තියෙනවා.
අපේ රටේ අපි කොයිතරම් කිව්වත්
No matter what we say, there's a political vacuum in our country, and I question as to who can fill that space. There are people in this country who are capable of filling that space. I am in a position where I am calling on all of us to get together, going beyond divisions of parties with labels.
එකතු වෙන්න ඕනේ කියන තැන මම ඉන්නවා.
A number of coconut estates in Dambulla are under threat due to a pest infestation. Some of the images in this report are not for the faint of stomach.
This particular pest is mostly seen in Bavala, Sigirimulla, Alakola Bava and Nikawatavana in Dambulla. Farmers have been driven to despair as they have run out of options to control the infestation. Farmers say they have used many pesticides but to no avail. When we made inquiries from an officer from the Dambulla Coconut Development Board, MMP Geetika, she stated that they have commenced inspections of land which have been affected by the infestation and will provide 500 pest traps to farmers.
Time for sports news, and we start in the cricket field where at stumps on day 3 of the rain-hampered third test, India are leading Sri Lanka by 132 runs with 7 wickets in hand. Playing in his maiden test, Kusaljani Perera posted a maiden test half century in Sri Lanka's first innings today. India, who were looking to extend a strong performance in the first innings, were dealt a severe blow this evening, losing 3 quick wickets. Athletics world champions come in all shapes and sizes, from the towering height of Usain Bolt to the diminutive 4'11" Mari Dibaba, who took gold for Ethiopia in the women's marathon today. Dibaba thrillingly outsprinted 2 other athletes to take top spot on the podium. The first of the 2 victories for the East African country on the final day of the competition at the IAAF World Championships in Beijing. Sri Lanka's Niluka Rajasekara was placed 49th in the event. And with that, we wrap up tonight's edition of News First Weekend. Thank you very much for joining us. Have a great week ahead of you. Good night.